Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Leap English Podcast by Mr. English Fluent Tutor. I am Anna.
And I'm Abel. Hello, Anna. It is great to be here today.
Hello, Abel. Can I ask you a quick question before we begin?
Of course you can, Anna. What is on your mind?
What do you think about when you hear the words talking to anyone with confidence?
Oh, wow. That is a really interesting question, Anna. Honestly, when I hear those words, I think it means you have to be a very outgoing person, someone who is born naturally loud and social. I also imagine someone who talks very fast without stopping, never feeling nervous, and someone who knows many fancy, impressive words to say to strangers right away.
Oh, Abel, I completely understand why you think that. And I want to gently say that you are not alone in thinking this way. But that picture is actually a very common myth, a belief that is not really true. Talking to anyone with confidence is simply about smiling, being a kind and patient listener, asking easy, friendly questions, and keeping your sentences simple and clear. That is truly all it takes to begin.
Wow, that is so much simpler than what I was imagining, Anna. I love that you explained it that way. So, it is not about being the loudest person in the room or using the biggest vocabulary. It's really about being open, warm, and genuinely curious about the other person. I think I can already feel something shifting in the way I'm thinking about this.
Exactly, Abel. And that shift you're feeling right now is already a beautiful first step. That small change in your thinking is where real confidence begins to grow. So today, we are going to walk through some really practical and beautiful ways to help you feel comfortable talking to absolutely anyone, in English or in any language. We're going to take this nice and slow, step by step, together.
Yes, and I am so glad we are doing this topic today, because I know so many English learners, including myself sometimes, feel a little frozen when they need to start a conversation in English. That frozen feeling is so real and so uncomfortable, so I'm very excited to explore these ideas with you today, Anna, and with all of you wonderful listeners out there who are with us right now.
Let us start with a picture that I absolutely love, and I want you to close your eyes for just a moment if you can. Imagine you are holding a fresh, cold bottle of water on a warm, sunny day. That bottle represents your daily social energy, the small but beautiful opportunities you have each day to connect with people around you. Every single day, you carry that bottle with you everywhere you go.
Oh, I really love that picture, Anna. So every morning I wake up with a full bottle of social energy ready to be used. That is such a lovely and easy way to think about it. And I think for many learners, including me on some days, that bottle stays completely closed all day long because we are afraid to open it and say something wrong in English.
Yes, and that's exactly the problem that we want to talk about first. When you freeze up and stay completely silent because you're afraid of making a tiny grammar mistake, what happens to all that precious water inside your bottle? Well, it just sits there, sealed and unused. You pour that amazing friendship opportunity right onto the floor, and it disappears without ever helping anyone, including yourself.
That makes so much sense, Anna. So the water that I pour onto the floor is actually the connection, the smile, the small hello that I could have shared with someone but did not because I was too scared of being imperfect in English. That's a little bit sad when I think about it that way. All those lovely little moments just lost because of fear of a small mistake.
Exactly, Abel. And here's the beautiful news. Saving your water doesn't mean giving a long, perfect speech. It simply means opening that bottle and sharing just one simple, warm sentence. Something like asking how someone is doing today, or saying what a lovely day it is, or simply smiling and saying good morning with a kind and open heart. That one small drop is enough to begin.
Yes, one simple, warm sentence. I can do that, and I think all of our listeners can do that too. It's funny because when I think about it, most people aren't waiting for you to say something perfect or impressive. They're just happy that someone is speaking to them with kindness and warmth. That small act of reaching out really does mean a great deal to people.
That brings me to another beautiful idea I want to share with you and with all of our wonderful listeners. Imagine you are sitting in a room that has two windows. One window is covered in dark, heavy clouds, gray and gloomy. And when you look through that cloudy window, you start imagining all kinds of scary things. You imagine that every person around you is quietly judging your English accent or your grammar. You feel like they are all just waiting for you to make a mistake so they can laugh.
Oh, wow. I know that cloudy window so well, Anna. I've stared through it many times myself, honestly. That cloudy window makes conversations feel like a test or an exam that you haven't studied enough for. And the more you stare through it, the heavier and colder that feeling becomes until you just don't want to speak at all anymore. It's a very exhausting place to be.
It really is exhausting, Abel, and I'm so glad you understand that feeling because it helps our listeners feel less alone. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to gently turn your head and look at the other window, the second window in the room. This window looks out onto a beautiful green garden full of light and warmth. And through this window, you can see something completely different.
Oh, that sounds much better already, Anna. What do you see through the green garden window? I want to know, because I'm ready to look away from that cloudy one for good. I think it's time to turn my head towards something brighter and more encouraging. Please tell me and all our listeners what is waiting for us through this second window.
Through the green garden window, Abel, you can see the real truth. And the real truth is that most people in the world simply want to connect. They want to feel seen and heard and valued. They aren't waiting for your grammar to be perfect. They aren't secretly judging your accent with a little notepad. They genuinely appreciate anyone who walks toward them with a kind, open, and honest heart.
That is such a warm and encouraging truth, Anna. Most people just want to connect. I think that one sentence alone could change the way so many learners feel before they start a conversation. Because when you remember that the other person also wants a friendly moment, suddenly the pressure to be perfect just quietly starts to melt away. I love that idea so much.
And that, Abel, is where real confidence quietly begins, not in perfection, but in the decision to look through the right window. Now, I want to talk about something else that I find so helpful, and I call it the idea of stepping stones and pocket coins. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a wide, beautiful river, and you need to get to the other side.
Oh, okay. I am imagining it right now, Anna. A big, wide river, and I need to get across. The other side represents speaking confidently in English every single day, right? That is the destination I want to reach. But the river looks a little wide and maybe a little bit scary from where I'm standing right now at the edge. So what do I do?
You do not need to swim across the whole river at once, Abel. That would be overwhelming and exhausting and honestly a little frightening. Instead, there are small, smooth stepping stones placed beautifully across the water, one right after the other. And each stone is like a small 10-minute coin of easy daily English practice that you collect and spend every single day in simple and gentle ways.
Oh, I love that, Anna. Small 10-minute coins of practice. So it's not about sitting down for 3 hours of intense study every day. It's about collecting little moments of real, living practice, like saying good morning to a neighbor with a smile, or ordering a drink at a cafe and practicing a simple, polite sentence, or even just speaking one line out loud in front of the mirror at home.
Yes, exactly right, Abel. Saying good morning to your neighbor is one stepping stone. Ordering your coffee and saying thank you warmly is another stone. Asking a shop assistant one simple question about a product is one more stone. And speaking one brave, clear sentence in front of your mirror every morning is a beautiful golden coin that you collect and carry with you all day long.
That makes so much sense, Anna, and it feels so achievable now that you describe it that way. I think many learners, including me sometimes, feel like they need to make a huge, dramatic leap all at once. But crossing one small stone at a time is so much more comfortable and steady. And before you know it, you look back and you realize how far you have already come.
That is such a beautiful point, Abel. You look back across the river and you count all those stones behind you, and you feel this deep, warm pride because you walked across one steady step at a time. And now I want to talk about another really important idea for speaking confidently. And this one is about the words you choose when you talk to someone new.
Oh yes, the words we choose.
I think this is where I get a little tangled up sometimes, Anna. Sometimes I think I need to use very advanced, impressive vocabulary to show that I'm a serious English speaker. Like I want to sound educated and smart, so I start reaching for these big, heavy words that I'm not even completely sure about, and then the whole sentence just falls apart.
Abel, I am so glad you said that because it's such a common and very human thing to do. But I want to share a simple picture with you. Imagine you were in the kitchen and you need to cut a piece of fresh bread. Would you reach for a heavy, rusty, complicated tool with many strange parts? Or would you reach for a clean, sharp, simple knife that does exactly what you need?
Oh, wow. I would absolutely reach for the clean, sharp, simple knife every single time, Anna. A complicated tool would just make a mess of my bread, and probably of my whole morning. I think I already see where this is going, and I love it. The clean knife is the simple, clear vocabulary, right? The kind of words that cut straight to the point without making a mess.
Exactly right, Abel. 100%. A clean, sharp knife means choosing simple, clear, everyday words and short, easy sentences that make your message easy for anyone to understand and to enjoy. When you use heavy, confusing vocabulary that you're not fully comfortable with, you create a kind of mental fog in the conversation, and nobody wants to walk through fog when they're trying to connect with you.
Yes, the mental fog. I know that feeling, from both sides actually. Sometimes I'm the one creating the fog with my complicated word choices, and sometimes I'm the listener trying to understand someone else who is speaking in foggy, heavy language. Clear and simple is always so much more beautiful and so much more powerful. A clean knife is always the best tool.
And here's what's so lovely about choosing simple words, Abel. When your words are easy and clear, the other person can relax completely. They don't have to work so hard to understand you. And when people can relax around you during a conversation, they start to feel warmth and comfort. And that's when a real, genuine connection begins to grow between two people.
That is so true, Anna. When I feel relaxed in a conversation, I naturally open up more. I smile more, I ask more questions, and the whole thing just flows like a gentle, easy river. So by keeping my words simple and clean, I'm actually doing a beautiful kindness for the other person too. I'm giving them the gift of a comfortable and enjoyable conversation.
That's a wonderful way to put it, Abel. A comfortable and enjoyable conversation is truly a gift you give to another person. And now I want to pause here for a moment and talk about something that I know is very close to your heart. You've mentioned before that sometimes your inner voice gets a little loud and a little unkind when you think about talking to strangers. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yes, Anna. My inner voice can be quite the dramatic storyteller sometimes. It says things like, "You were too shy to talk to people you don't know, Abel." Or it says, "You will never feel comfortable starting conversations in English." And when I hear those words from that little voice inside, it really does feel very heavy and very discouraging. It makes me want to just stay quiet and invisible.
I hear you, Abel, and I want to say something very important to you and to every single listener who has that same inner voice running in the background. That voice is not telling you the full truth. It's only telling you the story as it is right now, in this one moment. But there is one small, powerful, magical word that can completely change the story, and that word is yet.
Oh, the word yet. Tell me more about this, Anna, because I want to understand exactly how one small word can make such a big difference. How does adding the word yet change what my inner voice is saying? I'm genuinely curious, and I think our listeners are going to really want to hear this beautiful and simple idea right now.
It's so simple and so powerful, Abel. Instead of saying, "I'm too shy to talk to strangers in English," you gently add the word yet to the end of that sentence. Now it becomes, "I'm not fully comfortable talking to strangers in English yet." Do you feel how that changes everything? It's no longer a closed door. It's an open door with a warm, hopeful light coming through it.
Wow, I genuinely felt something shift just now when you said that, Anna. I'm not fully comfortable talking to strangers in English yet. That sentence has movement in it. It has direction and possibility. The word yet turns a heavy wall into a gentle step, a step that I'm already in the process of taking. That's such a kind and encouraging thing to do for yourself.
Exactly, Abel, and it is a kindness you deserve to give yourself every single day. The word yet is like a small, warm hand that gently guides your inner voice from a place of judgment to a place of growth. And growth, even tiny, slow, beautiful growth, is something to celebrate every single morning when you wake up and decide to try again.
Yes, every single morning is a new chance to try again. I love that so much, Anna. And speaking of trying again, I think a lot of learners also feel a certain kind of pressure because they worry that every conversation is like a test or an exam, like there is some strict teacher somewhere watching and grading every single word they say. That pressure feels very real.
Oh, Abel, you have just described something that I hear from learners all the time, and it is so important that we address it right now. I want you to imagine this very clearly. You are sitting at a bus stop or standing in a cozy little cafe, and you decide to start a small, friendly chat with the person next to you. It is a completely normal, human, everyday moment.
Okay, I am imagining it, Anna. I am at the bus stop, the sun is out, it's a nice day, and there is someone standing near me. Maybe they are also waiting for the bus, and I want to say something friendly, something simple. But then that familiar nervous feeling starts to creep in, because I feel like I am being watched and assessed and graded on my English performance.
And here's the beautiful and funny truth I want you to hold on to, Abel. There is absolutely no teacher hiding behind the sofa at that bus stop. There's no one crouching behind a coffee machine at the cafe with a red pen and a grade book, ready to mark you down for taking a small pause or using a slightly imperfect sentence. That judge simply does not exist.
Oh, wow, I love that image so much, Anna. No teacher hiding behind the sofa. That honestly made me smile and feel so relieved at the same time. Because you are right, the real world is not a classroom with strict rules and grades. It's just life, full of warm and imperfect and genuinely kind people who are simply happy to share a pleasant moment with you.
Yes, and when you release that idea of being graded, something wonderful and free happens inside you. You stop performing and you start connecting. And connecting is so much more beautiful and so much more meaningful than performing. Performing is exhausting. Connecting is energizing. And every single person at that bus stop or in that cafe is just another human being who wants a little warmth in their day.
That is such a powerful distinction, Anna. Performing versus connecting. I think I've been performing in my head even before I say a single word, rehearsing and editing and judging myself so harshly before the conversation even begins. But if I just focus on connecting, on being genuinely curious and warm, then the pressure just naturally starts to lift and the words begin to come more easily.
That is 100% true, Abel. And now I want to share one final beautiful idea with you before we move into our word review. And this one is about the pace of confidence itself. So many people think that confidence arrives like a sudden, loud, dramatic event. Like one morning you just wake up and boom, you're a completely confident speaker. But that's not how it really works.
Oh yes, I have definitely expected confidence to arrive that way before, Anna. Like I would go to sleep feeling nervous and wake up feeling magically fearless and fluent. But that never really happened, did it? And when it did not arrive that dramatically, I sometimes felt like something was wrong with me. Like maybe I just wasn't the type of person who could ever feel truly confident.
And that feeling is so understandable, Abel, but I want you to hear this gently and clearly. Confidence does not arrive like a sudden, loud shock or a dramatic lightning bolt. Confidence is more like a slow, kind, quiet friend who's walking along beside you on a long, warm afternoon walk. You might not notice them right away, but they're there, always moving forward with you.
I love that picture so much, Anna. A slow, kind, quiet friend walking alongside me. So confidence is not something that suddenly appears from nowhere. It's something that grows quietly and steadily the more I practice speaking, the more I take each small stepping stone, and the more I choose to look through the green garden window instead of the cloudy one. It's always with me.
Exactly right, Abel. And one of the most powerful practical tools to invite that quiet friend to walk a little closer is simply to slow down your speaking tempo deliberately and to take gentle, easy breaths before you begin. When you speak more slowly and breathe calmly, your voice sounds steadier. Your thoughts become clearer, and your calm confidence naturally catches up with you beautifully.
That is such a powerful distinction, Anna. Performing versus connecting. I think I've been performing in my head even before I say a single word, rehearsing and editing and judging myself so harshly before the conversation even begins. But if I just focus on connecting, on being genuinely curious and warm, then the pressure just naturally starts to lift and the words begin to come more easily.
That is 100% true, Abel. And now I want to share one final beautiful idea with you before we move into our word review. And this one is about the pace of confidence itself. So many people think that confidence arrives like a sudden, loud, dramatic event. Like one morning you just wake up and boom, you're a completely confident speaker. But that's not how it really works.
Oh yes, I have definitely expected confidence to arrive that way before, Anna. Like I would go to sleep feeling nervous and wake up feeling magically fearless and fluent. But that never really happened, did it? And when it did not arrive that dramatically, I sometimes felt like something was wrong with me. Like maybe I just wasn't the type of person who could ever feel truly confident.
And that feeling is so understandable, Abel, but I want you to hear this gently and clearly. Confidence does not arrive like a sudden, loud shock or a dramatic lightning bolt. Confidence is more like a slow, kind, quiet friend who's walking along beside you on a long, warm afternoon walk. You might not notice them right away, but they're there, always moving forward with you.
I love that picture so much, Anna. A slow, kind, quiet friend walking alongside me. So confidence is not something that suddenly appears from nowhere. It's something that grows quietly and steadily the more I practice speaking, the more I take each small stepping stone, and the more I choose to look through the green garden window instead of the cloudy one. It's always with me.
Exactly right, Abel. And one of the most powerful practical tools to invite that quiet friend to walk a little closer is simply to slow down your speaking tempo deliberately and to take gentle, easy breaths before you begin. When you speak more slowly and breathe calmly, your voice sounds steadier. Your thoughts become clearer, and your calm confidence naturally catches up with you beautifully.
Yes, slowing down is something I forget so often when I feel nervous, Anna. When I get anxious, my words start rushing out too fast, and then I trip over them, and then I feel even more nervous, and it becomes this uncomfortable little cycle. But when I remember to slow down, take a breath, and just speak one clear word at a time, everything feels so much more manageable and so much more pleasant.
And when you speak slowly and clearly, something magical happens for the listener too, Abel. They have the time to understand you fully, to appreciate your words, and to respond thoughtfully. Slow speech is not a sign of weakness or low ability. It's actually a sign of real, deep, grounded confidence. Truly confident people speak slowly because they know their words have value and deserve to be heard.
That is such a beautiful reframe, Anna. Speaking slowly is a sign of real, deep confidence. I'm going to hold on to that thought every single time I feel the urge to rush. And I think our listeners are going to find that so helpful and encouraging, too. Okay, I feel like we have covered so many rich and beautiful ideas today. Should we now take a moment to look at some of our key words?
Yes, Abel, I would love that. Let's do our word review right now, and we're going to keep it very simple and very fun. We have 7 beautiful, important words that have been living inside our conversation today, and I want to make sure every single listener walks away with a clear understanding of each one. Our first word is confident. Abel, can you tell us simply what confident means?
Oh yes, of course, Anna. Confident means feeling sure and comfortable about yourself or about what you are doing. It doesn't mean you have zero nerves. It just means you believe in yourself enough to take that small, brave step forward anyway. And my simple example sentence would be, she felt confident when she smiled and said good morning to our new neighbor for the very first time.
That is a perfect example sentence, Abel. Simple, warm, and easy to remember. Our second word is friendly. Being friendly means being kind, warm, open, and easy to talk to. It's that feeling you get when someone looks at you with a genuine smile and makes you feel completely welcome, like you belong exactly where you are. And here's my example sentence for friendly.
Oh, I love how you set that up, Anna. Please share your example sentence. I think our listeners are going to enjoy this one.
Thank you, Abel. Here it is. He had such a friendly voice that everyone at the bus stop felt immediately comfortable and at ease when he began to speak. A friendly voice and a warm smile are truly two of the most powerful and beautiful conversation tools that any person can ever use, no matter what their language level is.
Yes, 100%, Anna. A friendly voice costs nothing and it opens every door. Okay, our third word today is approachable. Approachable means that you seem easy and comfortable to talk to, like someone who will listen kindly and not make you feel silly or judged for reaching out. An approachable person is someone who makes others feel safe enough to start a conversation.
Exactly, Abel. And approachable is such a beautiful word because it is all about the energy you give off before you even say a single word. And here's a simple daily life example for approachable. When she put her phone down and looked up with an open, relaxed expression, she immediately became the most approachable person in the entire waiting room. Body language matters so much.
Oh, wow, that is so true, Anna. Putting your phone down and looking up is such a simple and powerful act of approachability. Our fourth word today is curious. Being curious means having a genuine and warm interest in other people, in their stories, their lives, their ideas, and their feelings. Curious people make the best conversation partners because they ask real, thoughtful, caring questions.
Yes, and curiosity is honestly one of the greatest gifts you can bring to any conversation, Abel. When you are genuinely curious about another person, they feel it immediately. They feel seen and valued and interesting. And here's my example for curious. He was so naturally curious about people that he always asked one warm, simple question that made the other person smile and feel truly heard.
That is lovely, Anna. One warm, simple question that makes the other person feel truly heard. Our fifth word is connect. To connect means to create a real, warm human bond with another person, even if it's just for a few beautiful minutes at a bus stop or a cafe. Connection is the whole reason we speak to each other. It's the heart of every conversation.
I love that definition so much, Abel. Connection really is the heart of every conversation. And here is a simple example sentence for connect. After just 2 or 3 minutes of easy, warm conversation with a stranger on the train, she felt a genuine sense of connection that stayed with her and brightened her entire day. Small connections carry such enormous and lasting warmth.
Yes, small connections carry enormous warmth. That is beautifully said, Anna. Our sixth word today is conversation. A conversation is a friendly, two-way exchange of words, ideas, thoughts, and feelings between two or more people. It's not a speech, and it's not a lecture. It's a gentle back-and-forth sharing, like a relaxed game of catch with good friends on a sunny afternoon.
Oh, I love that image, Abel. A conversation is like a gentle game of catch. That is so perfect for our listeners to visualize. And here's my example for conversation. The best conversations happen when both people are listening just as carefully as they are speaking, because a real conversation is never just about talking. It's equally and beautifully about hearing another person.
Yes, listening is just as important as talking. That is such a key reminder, Anna. And our seventh and final vocabulary word today is comfort. Comfort, in the context of speaking and conversation, means feeling relaxed, safe, and at ease when you're talking with someone. It's that warm, settled feeling that grows slowly over time the more you practice speaking openly and honestly.
That is a wonderful definition, Abel. And comfort is truly the destination, is it not? The more small stepping stones you walk across, the more pocket coins of practice you collect, the more you look through the green garden window, the more comfortable you naturally and beautifully become. And here's my example for comfort. Every time he practiced a simple greeting in the mirror, his comfort with speaking to new people grew just a little bit more.
Every small practice brings just a little more comfort. I think that's the perfect note to end our word review on, Anna. I feel like we've had such a rich and full and warm conversation today. So many beautiful ideas, so many helpful pictures, and so many encouraging reminders. Should I share a little summary of everything we talked about today for all of our wonderful listeners?
Yes, please, Abel. I would absolutely love that. Take your time and walk us through everything we covered today in a warm and easy way so that our listeners can carry all of these beautiful ideas with them as they go about their day.
Of course, Anna, and thank you for that. Okay, so today we talked about how talking to anyone with confidence is not about being the loudest person or knowing the most impressive vocabulary. It's about being warm, open, simple, and genuinely kind. We learned that our daily social energy is like a fresh bottle of water, and every simple hello we share is a beautiful drop of that water well spent.
That's such a lovely start, Abel. Please keep going. I can see you are doing a wonderful job, and I know our listeners are following every single word.
Thank you so much, Anna. We also talked about the two windows in the room, the cloudy window of fear and judgment and the green garden window of real human truth, which reminds us that most people just want connection, kindness, and warmth. We talked about stepping stones and pocket coins, which showed us that big confidence is built from tiny daily moments of gentle, intentional practice, not from one huge, dramatic leap.
Yes, every stone matters. Please carry on, Abel. You are doing beautifully.
Thank you, Anna. We also talked about choosing a clean, sharp, simple vocabulary instead of heavy, foggy words that create confusion. And we learned the magic of the word yet, which gently transforms a closed story about ourselves into an open and growing one. We talked about how there's no teacher hiding behind the sofa in real-life conversations, so we can release that pressure and simply connect.
And the final idea, Abel, do not forget the quiet, slow friend.
Yes, of course. And finally, we talked about how confidence is not a sudden, dramatic arrival. It's a slow, quiet, kind friend who walks beside you the more you practice, breathe, slow down, and choose to keep going. By doing all of these small and beautiful things together, every single one of us can talk to anyone with more comfort, more warmth, and more genuine confidence every single day.
Abel, that was absolutely perfect, and I'm so proud of you. And to all of our amazing listeners out there, I want to ask you one simple and lovely thing right now. Please drop a comment below this episode and share with us one simple, friendly sentence that you're going to use to say hello to someone new today. It can be as short and sweet as, "Good morning, how is your day going?" Just one sentence. We would love to read every single one.
Yes, please do share your sentence with us in the comments, because we truly read them and we genuinely love hearing from you. Your words inspire us and remind us why we do this every single week. And remember, the conversation you're afraid to start today might just be the one that changes your whole day or even someone else's. You have everything you need to begin right now, exactly as you are.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep speaking with confidence and ease. This is Anna.
And this is Abel, and you've been listening to the Leap English podcast by Mr. English Fluent Tutor. Bye-bye. Take care.
And hey, if you enjoyed today's episode and you want to keep your language and your confidence journey moving forward, go ahead and click on the next video right now. It's waiting for you, and it's going to be just as warm, just as encouraging, and just as full of beautiful English as today. We'll see you there. Keep going. You're doing amazing.